Hello, you're watching Tech 24. Coming up in the show. You work in an office or a factory. In this edition, we tell you how your workplace is set to change in the near future. From virtual reality to smart robots and intelligent buildings, experts believe we're at the cusp of one of the greatest shifts in working practices. Plus, ever wanted to transfer a picture directly from your smartphone to a wall? Well, it's now possible, thanks to the Sprayprinter. Nanotechnology, cloud computing, the Internet of Things, and 3D printers. These are only some of the many advanced technologies that are changing the face of manufacturing. In addition to cutting costs, these technologies create speed, precision, efficiency, and flexibility for companies and their employees alike, as Emerald Maxwell explains.
Intelligent robots, 3D, digital technology. Industry hasn't seen this much upheaval in half a century. How are these technologies changing factories? And how can they help the future of our economies? In this Parisian test center, robots are replacing people for the most tiresome tasks. No more need to break your back picking up objects like this 14-kilo wheel, meaning just about anyone can now build a scooter.
I just have to push this button here. Just a touch of my finger is enough to move the robot. It's extremely sensitive. This robot means that anyone can work here, men or women, big or small.
Traditional assembly lines will soon be a thing of the past, thanks to robots with spatial sensors that move autonomously around the factory floor, as well as technology that guides employees with precise instructions in real time. This method reduces both human error and training time, so a worker can turn his hand to any task. Crucial adaptability for the factories of the future, which will no longer be restricted to producing just one type of product. Anything from scooters to washing machines will be built under the same roof. For employees, the new technology is a comfort.
We're self-guided. It's simple, quick, and efficient. When there's a product missing, at the touch of a button, I can relay the information instantly to the managers.
Simplifying the manufacturing process saves time, and therefore money. According to the manager of this pilot site, embracing technology will bring about a new industrial revolution, benefiting the economies of developed countries like France.
The wave of outsourcing is going to reverse, and factories are going to come back to developed countries, creating jobs in the industrial sector.
Good news for countries like France, which have been hemorrhaging jobs in industry for years. Artificial intelligence could now be the sector's unexpected savior.
And it's time to welcome Dan and Jay Kattlecar on set. Hello and welcome, Dan.
Hello, Julia.
Let's talk about GE, the world's largest manufacturer, is now using 3D printing, or should I say laser printing, to make small jet engine parts.
That's right. It's being dubbed as the next revolution in the industry, and it's called additive manufacturing. It's basically the technique of creating 3D objects from 3D designs. So additive manufacturing consists of a host of technologies. It encompasses CAD, which is the computer-aided design, 3D printing, as you mentioned, and other such techniques. So once the design is created using CAD, it's then fed into a 3D printing machine, and then it starts printing using different materials, and it lays layer upon layer till the final product is
Bottom
delivered.
up.
Exactly. And the interesting part is that you can use different metals. You can use plastic. You can even use concrete. So that's the added advantage, and it saves time. It is more efficient. And unlike CNC manufacturing, in which you discard the, say, for example, if you're making a product out of a block, you discard a lot of parts out of it. But here you keep on adding, so there's less waste as well.
And companies often have to create prototypes, and that's often costly. So some are turning to virtual reality.
That's right. Virtual reality is playing a big role in many stages, like, for example, from the design stage, where you can visualize a design, you can really play around with it, you can involve the customers, you can customize it in a better way. That's the first part. The second part is in the production line itself, so you can create an entire production line in the virtual world. You can have plans for automation or robots where you want to place the robots on that production line or where you want to place the people and so on and so forth. And it's also same for the entire factory design to understand how the factory could work, in virtual reality. And you can actually test it, analyze it, and then you can have better products.
And it also helps save money. We're going to turn our attention now to offices. Many companies like Google, Facebook, and Microsoft are working extra hard to make their offices more attractive places to be. Spaces where fun is almost as important as productivity. That's because increasingly, thanks to technological advances, staff no longer need to be in the office. And not only will our offices be more fun, the building will be more intelligent. For more on this, I'm now joined by Philip Ross, the CEO and founder of Unwork.com. Thanks for joining us, sir. What will our offices look like 20 or 30 years from now?
The office is about to go a fundamental reinvention. New technology is transforming how we work. People have different expectations. The office will become more activity-based, a place for people to come when they need to be there, to choose where they want to work based on what they have to do and who they have to work with, but also something that's more load balanced to the real work that's taking place.
Now, we often hear that our offices will be quote-unquote smart. What kind of advanced technologies will we see?
The technology is really interesting. So smart buildings are about to come to realization. And there are some great examples in Paris. LATERALLY with Schneider Electric, which is hosting the WorkTech Smart Buildings Symposium in December, is a great example of a smart space within the market, which is showing the future where people have control over their work environment, but also the building has intelligence. It can help people perform better, but even more importantly, it becomes a well building. It's about people's well-being and performance, and it's part of this vision we have of a high-performance workplace.
And what's the goal of all this embedded technology? Is it to get the best from employees or maybe to track them?
Not so much. I mean, the smart data, big data is obviously there, and the benefits should be seen to be able to help people work in a better way. For example, finding people who are in is a big issue for large corporations. So what the smart building will do is a vision for kind of people finding and what we call engineering serendipity, pushing people together for the right reason if they're in the same space at the same time.
Well, thank you so much, sir. That was Philip Ross, the CEO and founder of Unwork.com. Dan, it's fascinating how all our work habits are just going to be turned upside down in just a few years. Let's just go back to the actual building. Soon it's going to be much easier for employees to go from one part of the building to the other.
That's right. The German company ThyssenKrupp unveiled its new technology by which it has created these ropeless elevators, which are called travelators. So instead of just going up and down, you can now move sideways as well in the building, which will add to more efficiency, and you can traverse the building much easier.
And we're now using Wi-Fi in offices, but soon we'll be using Li-Fi. What is it?
Well, Li-Fi is light fidelity. It is also a means of wireless communication. It's a new technology. So instead of using radio frequency, you use the visible spectrum of light from LED bulbs. The biggest advantage of this is that the internet will be around 100 times faster than the conventional Wi-Fi we use. And also there will be more protection because, light doesn't pass through walls. So there will be less chances of it getting hacked, the network getting hacked.
And when can I expect to have my first robot assistant, Dan?
Well, soon. It's already there because the American company IPsoft has created a robot called Amelia. They call it a cognitive agent. So what it does is it understands many languages. It speaks different languages. A council in the UK has ordered this. So I think by the end of the year, they will be using it. A Swedish bank is also going to use it. And it's going to change the way we interact as far as the customer service is concerned because it has the ability to learn as it talks and as it experiences more. So
assistant robots are already here.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Dan. It's time for Test 24. It's called the Sprayprinter, and it's a wireless device that converts digital designs into wall art from your smartphone. Dan, what's the story behind this device?
It's an interesting story. The inventor of this device, his name is Mickey, he's from Estonia. His daughter demanded a picture of a unicorn on the wall, and he was completely at wit's end how to produce this picture. He's not a great artist, he couldn't draw. So he got this inspiration from the combination of the fuel injection in a car engine and the Wii, the Japanese console with which you can play wirelessly.
Right.
So combining those two, he came up with this idea of Sprayprinter. So essentially how it works is that there's an application which you can download on your phone, and in the application comes a set of pictures, or you can also take pictures, and once you process those pictures through the applications, they get divided into different layers. Now each layer corresponds to a specific color. So now here I'll just demonstrate how it works. So here's the Sprayprinter, and so the moment I come near the picture, you see a light flashes an LED. So this application, it starts tracking the LED, and as I move along, the paint will come.
And you're now reproducing a painting from Van Gogh.
Exactly. This is a painting by Van Gogh, and this is apparently based in Paris in the 18th arrondissement. It's called, I don't know, maybe you know it better.
Rue de Piquet.
Rue de Piquet. So that's the idea. And now how it does is that the moment
And it's actually here right next to you as well.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to look. Right now it's in the formation
works.
stage. Yeah, exactly. So what it does is the moment you put a picture on this application, it processes it and it sends it to this printer via Bluetooth, and the application tracks this LED. But in the future, the company or the founders, they want to incorporate gyroscope, accelerometer to make it more precise. And right now, the maximum pixels that are emitted per second is around 200. And they are also going to launch a Kickstarter campaign soon. I think it will be in November, and this device is going to cost $199 on the Kickstarter.
So it's affordable.
Yeah, it's quite affordable. It's a great Christmas gift.
It is indeed, as the holiday season is coming up. Thank you so much, Dan. It's the end of this show, but do stay tuned to France 24.